Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bleav in San Diego Baseball, the podcast. My name is Alex Miniak, the voice of Petco Park, alongside the three-time All-Star Heath Bell, wearing his fantasy camp shirt. Heath, did you wake up seeing your shadow this week for Groundhog Day?
Yeah, maybe. You know, winter's. I saw a shadow, so there's going to be more winter coming. But
The shadow is more winter. I thought no shadow. I don't know which way.
I thought if you saw a shadow, there was more winter.
Well, I don't know. You think the cloud cover, there'd be no shadow, so it'd be bad. I don't know.
I have no idea. But I saw that. I saw that, Bieber or whatever.
Puxatawny Heath, yeah. What really happened over the weekend, by the way, we've got some stuff to talk about here on the show. Want to talk about the latest Padres farm system ranking. It's also National Pizza Day coming up in a few days, and we're going to rank some pies. But do want to talk about something that happened over the weekend, and that is Padres FanFest. Now, you didn't get to go, Heath. I got to go this year. I love going every year because not only is it really the first day of the new school year, right? You're seeing everybody again for the first time. The fans are cruising around Petco Park. I run into a lot of the season ticket members and say, hey, I think it's just a fun time. And it was like 81 degrees. So it was spring, summer weather already at Petco Park. And it was a fun time. A lot of the players were there. Musgrove, King, Miller, Pavetta, Jackson Merrill was there, Jake Cronenworth, Tatis, Gavin Sheets. And then some of the alumni were there, Trevor, of course, and Gary Templeton showed up this year to sign autographs, and good friend of the show now, Jake Peavy as well. So a lot to be had and a lot to see. And I did hit the garage sale, and I want to show you something that I picked up. One thing for you, one thing for me. First thing I got, I don't know if you can see this, but I got the K Street street side here. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, this is off one of the poles from Gallagher Square. I don't know why they were getting rid of it, but it's now here in the studio.
Now it's yours.
We've got that, and you asked about bobbleheads, so you've got one coming your way. Dylan Cease, no-hitter bobblehead coming your way. So we both scored. Not too bad.
Maybe next year they'll invite me, and I'll come on out to FanFest. But it's always a good time, FanFest. I remember the days we had FanFest, and it was just good seeing the fans, and then you get ready to go to spring training, and it's just all this, excitement. You're almost like, all right, let's start spring training tomorrow. So, I felt.
I'm thinking next year what we can do is we can set you up an autograph table out on the street by where the hot dog vendors set up, and you could just sign out there. And anybody who comes up to you, you can sign for.
That, or we could just do a live show.
You could do a live show on the street outside.
Just boom.
Hey, we know it's really great in there, but we're out here. Everybody, come out and visit us. That would be fun. But you know what? It was a good time. I can't wait. Spring training a couple weeks away. Pitchers and catchers. They were actually packing up the clubhouse when I was there. I walked by, so that was another thing that kind of got me in the mood for spring training. All the uniforms were going into bins and going onto the truck. That was a big deal in Boston, by the way. When I was there, Truck Day was like a holiday. That was a thing. I don't know, Heath, if you've ever experienced the magic of Truck Day, but at least in Boston, that was a thing.
No, I've seen it. I mean, when you see it on TV and people talk about it, it gets you excited, seeing everybody lock up. I know the clubbies probably hate it because they got to load everything on and then a couple hours later load everything off. They're probably driving or whatnot, but yeah, it's I've never experienced it in person, but I've seen it on TV and I've heard about it. Clubbies telling all the nightmare stories. It's an exciting time, but it's a nightmare for them.
Yeah. So. Yeah, well, at least the drive to Arizona is only 5 or 6 hours, whereas Boston to Florida and Fort Myers is going to be a couple days. So that's definitely more of a ride.
You can't have anything stolen along the way. That's probably right.
You hope not. Don't stop at any seedy motels. Make sure you got a good, well-lit parking lot. That stuff's important. Getting on the subject of camp opening up, ESPN ranked the Major League Baseball farm systems. They went 1 through 30. And normally you're used to seeing the Padres up near the top of that list 1, 2, 3, 10, nothing really below 15. Well, they rank the Padres 30, dead last this year. I'm curious, I'm looking at some of these player position rankings here. Ethan Salas was ranked 70 by The Athletic and Keith Law. Keith Law's been an expert in prospects for a very long time. Ranked 110 by ESPN. That's a variance of 40. Now, I think that could go either way. You could say he's 30. I mean, I don't, are these really subjective? And does it matter at the end of the day?
It's just more bragging rights at the end of the day. I mean, Ethan Salas, it was, top 3 or top 5 at one time, but he's had some injuries and he hasn't had the seasons he wanted to. I think a lot of people talk about just him in general. This is kind of a make or break year. If he can stay healthy, he can produce, put his numbers up that we think he can. Or is it just, a lot of hype? A young kid had a lot of talent that just never panned out in pro ball. Hopefully it's not that, and hopefully, he can stay healthy and do really well. But rating the farm system, it's always good to have it up there. But really, at the end of the day, it's, what your big league club is going to do. In the last, 3 years, we've traded away our farm system numerous times. So it was just a matter of time before our farm system was not ranked high. I mean, if you really think about it, and, you got to rebuild the farm system. And also, if you're going to rebuild the farm system, are you rebuilding it to trade, or are you rebuilding the farm system to possibly have some pieces of the puzzle in, 2 or 3 years? Because the guys that got drafted this past year may not be high on the list, but if they have a really good season at 2026, we could have 3 or 4 guys have a really good 2026. And then all of a sudden our farm system jumps up from 30 to, 15, halfway,
Right.
30 to 10. So it's just more of a bragging right, because I will tell you this. There's not one organization that is like, we have the best farm system, and then goes out and win the World Series.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure the Dodgers the last 2 years haven't had the best farm system, and Toronto hasn't had the best. But I would say maybe 5 years ago or 6 years ago, Toronto had a really good farm system, or the Dodgers did. But now, the guys are in the big leagues. They're not part of the farm system, or they traded them away to get big league guys. So, when the Yankees back in the late 90s and 2000s, they didn't have the best farm system. The teams that always go, hey, we got the best farm system, is almost like, well, our big league team's not going to do well, but our farm system is great. So
yeah, I mean, it's like it's draft picks, right? If you're consistently getting the best draft picks, it means you're one of the worst major league clubs, right? So
and you have to you got to develop guys. Guys, he could be a stud coming out of college and not do well in the minors. Is that because he's not good, or he was not coached well?
yeah.
Because playing pro ball to college is different. Metal bats is different than wood bats. Pitching the wood bats and pitching the metal bats is different. Hitting is different. So, reacting off the ball. So it's just all a little bit different, playing every single day. Over in college, you play 3 or 4 games during the weekend. So that changes a lot. You got to play catch every day. You got to run around every day. Where in college, you got Mondays and Tuesdays off.
Yeah.
Well, you had easy days. So there's a transition. And if organizations don't actually teach them and just go out there and let them play, your farm system's not going to be good, especially if you don't have high picks.
Yeah, I'll give you an example of a guy that I have some professional experience with. His name is Travis Snyder. He was an outfielder for the Blue Jays. He was a number 5 prospect at one point, first-round pick of the Blue Jays, 14th overall in 2006. He ended up having an 8-year career, only one full season. He was a .244 career hitter, 54 home runs. That's a fine big league career, but that's not number 5 prospect big league career.
Oh, yeah.
And Toronto had a good farm system at that point, but for whatever reason, they never really put it together at that time. Certain clubs know how to generate talent out of a farm system and use it at the big league level. When I think about teams like the Cardinals, when I think about the Brewers, when I think about
Braves.
Yeah, Braves, Rays. Gosh, there's a few other that I could mention, but those are the ones that really breed a big league club out of a farm system. Now, when I think of other clubs, and I think of ones particularly run by Dave Dombrowski, where he could care less about a farm system, those are assets to him and trade assets. He's just worried about producing at the big league level and not necessarily at the minor league level. So it also depends on what your ethos is as an organization and what your MO is. So, we've been a club under AJ Preller that's been less on the homegrown side, although we love scouting talent and finding diamonds in the rough, but we're more about generating big league impact players now and not waiting 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah, when I was in the farm system with the New York Mets, their motto was, I think it was like 1,000 at bats or 5,000 at bats. Relievers, it was 500 games. Starters for 500 innings before you sniffed the big leagues, because they wanted you to, if you weren't super talented and you got to the big leagues, you wouldn't hurt the big league club. That was their motto, so you're seasoned and you know how to take care of yourself, and you're not going to hurt a big league club if you get to the big leagues. Now you have a David Wright or Jose Reyes that kind of moved through the system faster because the talent was there, but you always need role players, and the role players had to be just as good as an everyday guy, but knowing the talent, they weren't going to be an everyday, they're role players. So to know how to do that, they seasoned them in the minors, where nowadays it's like if you have a good season, some clubs just bring you straight up and you might fizzle out after 2 years. So you don't know how to play in the big leagues or play professional baseball. So when you get to the big leagues, you're just still kind of in awe or whatnot. But there's a different way of playing, because you play 162 games in 6 months. The only way to prepare that is the minor leagues, where you play, for 5 straight months, not 6. And, it's tough. And, yeah, it's just every club has a different philosophy. Develop guys, bring them up, develop guys to trade them off. So it just, here you go. We just got to wait and see what happens. And right now, the Padres just traded. So unfortunately, it was going to happen. It was, I'm glad it happened this year and not 2 years ago. So, but I think we have the pieces of the puzzle in the big leagues. And as long as we could have some guys in AAA, that I think there's potential. And like I said, the guys in the farm system right now have a good season. It'll change the whole farm system around next year, or at the end of the season. The Padres possibly won't be number 30. They'll be like number 20 or 15 by the end of the season, if those guys in the minors could play like they think they can.
Yeah, and they're going to get playing time without anybody blocking them as well, which is going to be helpful. Yeah, also a good thing. So it's wide open down there.
You might find a diamond in the rough this year, the Padres, in the farm system, because there's no top prospects.
Yeah. Coming up on Bleav in San Diego Baseball, we're going to be doing some power ranking of our own. It's National Pizza Day in just a couple days, and what we want to rank is styles of pizza. We did a power ranking a couple weeks ago where we talked about which foods or which cheesy foods were best. Now we're going to rank the style of pie, Heath. We've got some interesting options, and we'll do that coming back after the break. Do want to remind you to find us wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart as well. You can find us there. Also, find us on the web for recaps of the show. We are Bleav, Bleav, in SD.com on the web, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes on Bleav in San Diego Baseball. Welcome back to Bleav in San Diego Baseball, the podcast. Myself, Alex Miniak, alongside the 3-time All-Star Heath Bell. This is the point in the show where we have a little fun. We cut loose. We talk pies. We're talking about pizza pies. National Pizza Day is coming up on the 8th of February, and we could not let this day pass without talking about pizza. Now,
real quick.
Yeah.
What is better? A pizza that was just delivered that's hot, or a pizza the next day that's cold that you got to warm up?
Well, see, that depends on the
pizza
brand or the pizza make. Okay, now, I guess I'm not going to infuriate any sponsors because we have none on this show, but like, I can't heat up a Little Caesars the next day. It does not taste good second day. But I could heat up Pizzeria Luigi, which is a place around the corner here, and have that the next day without a problem. So I think it depends on the pie, but I'm going hot and ready at the door is going to be my selection there.
Yeah. I remember the drunken nights in college and stuff.
Oh, sure. But at that point, it doesn't matter.
All right, keep going.
All right, we're going to power rank these pizza styles. I got 6 pizza styles here nationwide, and I'm going to attach a baseball team to these to help differentiate them a little bit, all right? So let's go through the 6 pies I have, and then we'll come back and rank them. The first style of pizza we have, I'm calling the California Angels style. They'll always be the California Angels to me. California Angels style. We're talking a non-traditional California cuisine, like chicken and barbecue sauce. California Pizza Kitchen's what I'm thinking, and you got that on a thin crust.
My kid would love that.
Yeah, I love the barbecues, but we'll get back to that. The second one is the traditional Chicago Cubs and White Sox style deep dish. Think of that thick, moist crust coming from the deep dish pan. That's going to be the second one. The third one is like the latest pizza craze, which is the Detroit Tigers style. You got a pan pizza, thick crust. It's crispy and chewy. Sometimes it uses the Wisconsin block cheese. It's cut into squares. Tasty, tasty stuff. The fourth one I've never had. This one's called Minnesota Twins style, which is a circular thin crust pie cut into squares with a spicier sauce, okay? But when I go to Minnesota, I just go to Manny's Steakhouse. So I guess next time I'm going to get the pizza.
I don't know about spicy sauce, but okay.
I don't know how spicy it would be.
Yeah.
Spicy marinara?
I don't know.
The fifth would be the classic New York Yankees Mets style. Thin crust, hand toss, foldable slices. Anywhere name Ray's will sell it to you.
Yeah.
And number 6 would be the New Haven, Connecticut disputed territory style, because I say that's in between New York baseball and Boston baseball territory. Thin crust baked in a coal fire oven, and it's got little bits of char on it. If you've ever been to New Haven, Frank Pepe's or Sally's, they're right across the street from each other. Pick either one. I'm a Pepe's guy, but Sally's will do too. So there we go. There's our 6. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first? We can rank them.
Let you go first.
Okay, last to first. I'm going to rank these. My last in the 6, so number 6, would be the Chicago deep dish style. I'm a thin crust man. I don't like too much dough. I want more toppings, more cheese. That's just me. That's just me. I don't mind like a Pizza Hut pan pizza, but the deep dish is just a little too much for me. Number 5 would be the Detroit Tigers style. Again, same concept, thicker crust. I do like that the crust is very like buttery and charred, so that gets a little higher than the Chicago for me, but that's going to be my number 5. Number 4 is going to be the California Angel style, because I love the chicken and barbecue pizza. That's a good one. I like the thin crust. Don't be putting any bean sprouts or anything foofy on that pie. Just keep it like that, and that one would be good for me. Number 3, although I've never had it, sounds great. The Minnesota Twin style. When I get a Domino's pie, I get the thin crust and I get it cut into squares, and that sounds like what this is. So I think I would like that. Number 2, you can't go wrong, New York style. The foldable slices, again, pick them up at any Ray's. You take them to go. You don't even need a plate. You can just walk around with it as is. It's like you fold them so much, it's like a pizza taco. That's why I love the New York style. And the number 1, hands down, is going to be a Frank Pepe's from New Haven, Connecticut. Man, those ovens have been there since like the 1930s, and I swear the bits of coal that you get on your pie are from the 1930s, and it just tastes so good. So I will go with that would be numero uno, above and beyond, would be the New Haven disputed territory style. So those are my top 6. Heath, very interested.
Let's see if I can remember every single pizza here. But
okay.
I love the New Haven style. I forget who I've had, but I've had pizza out there. But the pieces, the old ovens, by far the best.
Yep.
Just, I don't know what it's about it. It's just like a good barbecue that's been slow cooking for 20 years. It gets better and better with years. So, and then my second one, you got to go with the probably the New York style. It is what it is. Number 3, the deep dish is that Detroit?
Either the deep dish Detroit, which is the more of the Wisconsin cheese.
Okay,
or
so no, that's okay. Deep dish. The Detroit one is my last pizza. We're going to.
Okay, all right.
I just don't like the blocks of cheese.
Okay,
I'm a fan of that. So number 3 would have to be
the Chicago.
But see, the deep dish, I don't like it real thick. It's kind of like if it's crispy and kind of aerated, the deep dish is good. So the California barbecue pizza is either third, or the deep dish Chicago is third. They're like 3 and 4. It just depends how you make it.
Okay.
I like the crunchier, where you hold up the pie and it doesn't go boom. I'd rather have that.
Okay.
Then I'd probably go with Minnesota, just because I like the square thin crust pizzas at like Domino's and stuff, but I don't know about the spicy. I mean, the peppers, that might just be a little too hot for me or whatnot. But I just don't know how the sauce is going to be. But be honest with you, I'm a huge fan. We're, talking about pizza and stuff like that. I mean, my family likes Domino's. Little Caesars always been. I kind of grew up on that. But I will say there's 2 pizzas that I kind of crave for some odd reason. It's Costco.
That's a good one.
And then Pizza Port, actually, in San Diego.
Love that place too.
It's just the vibe out there and all the different flavors they have. It works. And I'm not a big flavor guy. I like pepperoni, maybe sausage, just kind of a plain kind of guy that way. But Pizza Port, I always try something and I always like, I would never have thought putting those 2 things together, and it actually works. But I'm not a big pineapple person, though.
No, I don't do that either. I don't like sweet toppings on a pizza.
Yeah, there you go.
Unless it's like a dessert pie.
I'm a big on. Everywhere I go, can I get extra crispy? Because that, the charcoal, the old stove, those are just way. I don't like the flimsy pizzas. I like Ray's, New York, because it's kind of the old style, hand toss, blah, blah. But I always like it a little bit more crispy than, there's certain Ray's in New York that make the pizza a little bit better. It's all about the dough, really. So I don't think it's about the toppings. I really think it's about the dough, and whoever has...
No, I think the same rule applies to sandwiches. It's not about the filling, it's the bread. The bread makes the sandwich.
Yeah. So that's kind of my key to the pizza and all that. It's all great, but it really comes down to the dough.
All right. Well, you and I are in agreement in our top 2. We are definitely going the New Haven and the New York 1, 2. So that's good. The rest of them we're sort of aligned on, but our pizza tastes.
It's how you have it.
Yeah.
If people like people like certain pizzas to be flimsy, folded over, blah 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 blah. I like it to hold its standards. Hold it up.
You can get a Pizza Port pie at Petco Park too, so that's also a good thing.
I usually do that too every time I go out.
You should. Well, coming back next week, I'm sure we'll be getting closer and closer to baseball season, and we'll be talking more and more Petco Park as we get closer to action for sure. I'm sure more spring training stuff is going to cross our radar, and we'll have more food items to debate. I can pretty much guarantee that. Might take another dip into the card box and see what we can pull out as well. So looking forward to that next week. Heath, any last words for the show this week?
The only last words I have is this upcoming weekend, people, I just want to say that I'm getting inducted into my high school Hall of Fame. So that's going to be pretty honored. But what's really cool about the Hall of Fame is there's 3 inductees. There's myself, Mark Grace, and Sean Green. We all went to the same high school, Tustin.
That's pretty cool.
And we're all getting inducted to the Hall of Fame at the same time. So I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting. And we'll be out there, and then have to find some place to go watch the Super Bowl, because I'll be out in San Diego somewhere.
Well, I'm going to be in Denver, and I'm a Patriots fan. So, that's a shame.
That's all right. I'm kind of rooting for the Patriots to win, but I don't really mind if Seattle wins either. So
I have no issues with Seattle. Never have. Great fan base. I have friends that are Seattle fans. It's kind of like this week we're like, well, made the best team win.
I kind of like Sam Darnold because everybody counted him out with the Jets, and then Minnesota, he did really well, and everybody's like, oh, he can't do it. Then he goes to Seattle, and Seattle's like rebuilding, and they just take him to the Super Bowl. So I'm like,
it's rare that you have two underdog stories facing off, and that's what makes this Super Bowl interesting.
exactly.
So,
It's
and
really
I think
fun to watch.
both teams are playing with house money, so yes, it will be fun to watch. So we'll catch you next week for the 3-time All-Star. My name is Alex Miniak, and we'll catch you next week on Bleav in San Diego Baseball. Go Pats!